So you're doing an exercise and you notice there's one single weak link that seems to consistently be holding you back. Now in the example for today's video, we're talking about grip with rows and pull-ups because that's a common one, but you can apply these tips to hip flexors for ab work or shoulders and triceps for when doing push-ups. You can apply this in many different ways. Well, the first thing you can do is kind of work around the issue itself. This usually involves using specialized equipment or changing your technique in some way so that that doesn't seem to be as much of a limiting factor. No joke, I once had a guy tell me that it was impossible to adequately do pull-ups unless you were using like power lifting style wrist wraps. And the reasoning was total bro science. He's like, well, your lats are so much bigger than your forearms, so therefore you're never going to have an adequate strength for that. But of course I'm sitting there going, but I can hang a heck of a lot longer than I can do pull-ups for, so clearly he was missing something. And that's kind of the attitude you want to be aware of, because yes, you can get around those weaknesses, which may temporarily solve the issue. However, what you're doing is still enabling the very weakness itself, so you're not really dealing with the problem, and instead you're allowing it to stay in place, keep limiting you, and in some cases even get worse. The other thing you can do is address the weakness more directly. So in the case of weaker grip, you can train your grip more. One of the things I highly recommend are these duonomic power holds. These are one of the most versatile and adjustable grip training tools that you can use. I'll put a link down below to my review video and the website if you want to check it out. But if you do that to make that weakness much stronger, you're potentially heading it off at the pass. However, you are adding more time and more energy and stuff to your workout, which may not be the most economical and efficient way to go about things. You could incorporate them at the same time you're doing your normal training, like I was doing with the pull-ups, so that way it's not taking up much more energy or time. However, now you're making the grip so much of a mechanical disadvantage that it's definitely going to be the thing that's going to be the weakest link when you're training, and it could make it much more challenging to potentially work your lats, your shoulders, your biceps, and the other muscles along the chain adequately enough for you to get what you want. You've essentially turned it into a primary grip exercise with a little bit of everything else thrown into the mix. And that's why my suggestion is to do, well, almost nothing. Because when we're doing our pull-ups and we feel the weakness in our grip, or we're doing our leg raises and we feel our hip flexors really working, what that's telling us is, yes, that is a weak link. Yes, that is going to be holding you back, but it's going to be a temporary situation. So remember the most important principle in all of exercise science, the SAID principle, specific adaptation to imposed demand. And one of the best lessons to that is you gain that which you challenge. So if you want a stronger grip, challenge your grip. If you want to have strength, challenge your strength, and so on. So if you're doing pull-ups and you're noticing it's a really good challenge on your grip, it's going to make your grip stronger anyway. We just need to keep going and doing the same thing, and eventually your grip will catch up with the rest of the muscles in that tension chain. Just keep doing the thing that's exposing the weakness. It'll probably shake itself out over time. If you've been doing the exercise for many months on end, maybe a little bit more of that direct work to strengthen up the grip or the hips or whatever seems to be holding you back, see if that can help you out, and only kind of work around the issue if it's kind of a short-term thing, like I need to be able to do 20 pull-ups to win a bet or something. I don't want my grip to be holding me back. In that case, use the wrist wraps or some way to work around it. More videos here. Thank you very much for watching. Be fit and live free.